Okay, so we're gonna try and keep everything in an 8-minute video. I'm kind of I already talked and realized I made some mistakes. So we're just going on a ride. I'm doing some different stuff with the microphone. Got pretty cool terry cloth. You're probably gonna see me opening the visor a little bit more often today because you know, stuff. And yes, I'm wearing my shoes. That's one of the things on the to-do list is boots. We got to get some boots. My riding boots have separated and are no longer any bueno. Let's see here. And I want to see how this terry cloth does. See, when I'm going this slow, I can't keep that visor closed. So I'm sure you're getting some air, but I've got it like a terry cloth tucked underneath my chin to see if I can block out some of the wind from the microphone, or that's hitting the microphone during some of these rides. And I need to test that when we're going a little bit quicker. I'm hoping it's going to work because I think the audio's pretty decent for what we're doing, but I know it could be better, and I'm just working on it, trying to do this stuff. I need to pay a little bit more attention to what I'm doing here, I think. Okay. We're a little bit broke in now. We're over that 250 mile mark, so I can get on it just a little bit more. Still not a lot. Still can't hit 6, and that's okay. I don't need to hit 6 grand. I'm just not as worried about going over 4. So, well, right away, even at this speed, I got a lot of fog. So, it's always a cool thing trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I've got some bullet points kind of lined out for videos. But I'm definitely to the point now where I just have to say, hey, I'm going to talk about this and only this. You know what I mean? And I have to stay focused on it because if I don't, it just goes into ramblings. And that was kind of what was going on yesterday. I had about 2 hours maybe of footage, close to it, that was for the most part without a lot of editing, completely unusable, and I still would have had to put like a voiceover on, so I just couldn't use it. So we're gonna have to get some way to vent this, to defrost this helmet without sacrificing the audio. I'm gonna have to do some thinking. So obviously, look, making the videos is fun, and I think there's a message to get out. What those messages are, I have no idea yet. Your guess is as good as mine. But I will say this. I don't want to sacrifice safety, my own personal safety, to make the videos. So if we have to deal with a little bit of pop and scratch every now and then because of the audio quality, that's just going to be par for the course, I guess, because if I can't see, I certainly can't ride. And I want to talk about some of the stuff that, some of the differences between the old Voyager and the new one. That's something I've been asked about. Can you see me? I can see your eyeballs. Thank you. Need you to see me. Yep. Nope. Maybe. I don't know. And then once I get in front of him, I can back it down. Now, I don't want to be going slower than that guy was. That's what we call a dick move. But I definitely want to be well in front of him so that I don't slow him down. Give him at least a few blinks of the turn signal and then come over. And I'm going to keep easing the throttle back just a little bit at a time. This thing, like I said, really twitchy. And when you ride this, you definitely want to just be gentle on the throttle. It's you don't want to roll on hard or roll off. I should say roll off hard. Rolling on is fun, but rolling off of it, man, it'll you feel it. It's rapid deceleration, even in a high gear. I'm not gonna go too crazy today, but I do want to do a little bit of slow speed stuff just because this bike and I are not familiar with each other the way I am with the Voyager. I know exactly what she'll do, when she'll do it, how she'll do it. She doesn't surprise me very often, unless she's being all attitudey Judy because your motorcycle, and then she's like, typical woman. Look, they're gonna have to get along. I don't know. Lovely. So there's a parking lot kind of up here. I've shot some video. I don't know if it's actually made it onto the channel yet or not, but I've back in back in the olden days, the dumb times, I used to go to the BMV here in Defiance, and I used to go to the what was it? There's an industrial road that they never built the industrial park, so they built this brand new road with no industrial park, and it was great because it's, you know, I don't know, seems like it's about a mile long. It's probably not that long, but it's pretty close. It's I'd say a good half mile. Maybe I'll go back there and measure it or I'll get on the Google machine and measure it. I don't know. But they've recently started building a factory there, but that factory hasn't actually been there for that long. So it's not done yet. So there's been some industrial equipment back there this year. But up until they started to build that, it was just an empty road. So you could go back there and just do whatever you wanted to do on that road to your heart's content. But now there's a bunch of mud, a bunch of gravel, and there's still some spots. It's just not where I want to be. So I found this parking lot a couple of weeks ago. At night, they have a lot of lights on, and I was like, hey, that's a pretty good deal. And if you take a look here, it's a nice parking lot, and so far nobody has said jack squat. So I'm going to use this opportunity to just do a little bit of light practice. Now this is if I might slip and add it in here. I don't know. I'm getting better with stuff. I don't do slow speed maneuvers all the time. I do them a couple of times a week maybe. And all I'm trying to do is make sure that I'm comfortable maneuvering the motorcycle. I'm not trying to do police rodeo stuff. I'm just kind of doing the basics. So the basics are, you know, things like a U-turn. Now that's way too much throttle, and this is why we do it. It's a perishable skill. So I already know that I don't need to use that much throttle on this bike. But my hand is so just used to doing it that that's where it goes. So I got to work on it. So I'm going to go ahead and try and make another turn to the left. By the way, I'm constantly clearing my mirrors, you know. That's too much. Too much throttle. Too much throttle. Too much throttle. Right there. Perfect. That's just over 1,000 RPM. So, and we're all using the clutch. I'm trying to stay off of the brake. But I do drag the brake occasionally. So now I'm just going to do the same thing. Bring it back around. See, this is where I start having that problem of, you know, how too much. There we go. So I'm just kind of, and I'm not going to sit here. I could do this for like 10 minutes or so, but I don't really want to do that. I'm going to do a couple of put downs, you know, where I just put my foot down and I'm going to pick it back up. Just like I would do in traffic, you know, pick it down, pick it back up. That's it. Too much throttle. See? Trying to get used to it. And then I want to stop right behind the line. And I want to just bring it to a nice, easy, gentle stop at the rear brake. That's it. And then the other thing is turn from a stop. So I can make a right-hand turn here. I can make a left-hand turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a right hand. I'm going to go down the next lane. And I'm just going to use that as my right turn from a stop. There we go. That's it. So now, 20 miles an hour, ready? Oh, we stopped quick. That's all we're trying to do is a panic stop or two, just to make sure we can do it. Okay. Way too much throttle, but we're going to do the same thing. This time I'm going to go a little bit faster. Nice. And that's all we have to do. So you can do a little straight line ride is another thing. I don't want to, I'm not very straight, but it's just my slow ride. Throttle's not quite where it needs to be. Now, if you're, like I said, I've said this before, if you're trying to learn how to do the slow speed stuff, don't watch me. Go watch one of the umpteen channels that will teach you how to do slow speed riding, and they will teach you the right way of doing it. I'm just practicing. This is just me, you know, like I'm still trying to get that. Where are we leaving the clutch off? You know, where's that friction zone start? Where's all the thing? I know you're watching me. I'd be watching me too. So I don't want to cause a bunch of havoc. I don't want to cause problems. in the parking lot. I just want to be in here long enough to try and practice a few things, a few maneuvers. We're not gonna be doing any figure eights yet, but we could. That's kind of the goal. Is we want to get in here and be able to do a figure eight. See, that's too much brake. I got to use too much brake to do it, so I'm not ready yet. But there's a figure eight and 2 parking space just to show you it can be done. I mean, it's not difficult. I guess here's the thing that I'm trying to overcome with this bike, which is essentially, these heavy cruisers sometimes, and even my fat old 2003 Shadow 750 kind of did the same thing. When you're turning that wheel, it gets to a point where it wants to help you, and it'll do the same thing in a slow speed turn. It wants to help. You're kind of putting pressure, and all of a sudden it just kind of wants to brake a little bit. It's reaching the apex of its its turn radius there. It's just trying to help you, and it's very unnerving. If that's, it's just unnerving. So you just have to kind of work through it, and that's how I do it. Is just a little bit at a time. Just a little bit at a time. We're not ready to start. I don't want to drop it. I don't have. I've got drop guards, but I don't have the sliders, so I don't really want to. I'm willing to drop it, but I'd rather do that after I have the sliders on. I know it's going to do some damage to my chrome, so I want to make sure I've got the sliders on before I start. So basically, in a nutshell, that's it. I would probably do about, 10 minutes maybe. That's kind of stretching it. Usually don't do it that long, and then every now and then I'll spend a half an hour doing some stuff. But it's because that's where we're going to have the problems. If you look at a lot of these motorcycle accidents that happen, the small ones, the ones that just cause damage to your bike and your pride, but don't really put you in the hospital, that's where they're coming from. Those are the things that are going to cause the minor inconvenient bullshit damage that brings down your resale value. We certainly don't want that. Just get a little bit of practice in, do the thing, and the world's your oyster, Let's get a little bit. Why do I smell rotten eggs? Oh, neat. So I got to go in and talk to my banker lady. Got some stuff we need to discuss. And then I got some more errands to run, so we're probably going to film some videos after that. All right. We'll catch you in a little bit.